Dude, bad news. You're dead.
Welcome to the Worst Responders Podcast. The opinions expressed are those of the host and our guest. Stay moist.
Jack Raia,
That's me, man.
now known as, or the artist formerly known as What's Good Media, and now known as Electric Medic.
Electric Medic. A little bit of a name change, man.
Yeah, dude. Welcome back.
Thank you, man.
How have you been?
I love this place so much.
I
It's
know
so
you
great.
do.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do.
Thanks, man. I was in a little bit of a hiatus with medic school there. for a
Yeah.
sec.
You graduated top of your class, if I heard
yeah,
correctly.
baby. Oh, yeah. Dude, I
Yeah.
had no idea that at the end of the class, I found out that I was valedictorian. I was like, oh, wow, that's sick. But then, they had this big-ass plaque for me, and I was like, whoa.
That's so awesome.
That is fantastic.
What's
Yeah.
it feel like to be top of your class? I wouldn't know.
good, man.
I would literally never know, ever.
It's pretty good. I mean, I took an accelerated program with 12 people in it, so I was one of 12.
Okay. It's a decent amount of people.
Yeah, but I liked it because it was so full time. You know what I mean? My schedule was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all day class, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just either class or lab, skills, whatever, like in-person class. And then Monday and Friday were mandatory rotation days, so I had to go do an ER rotation, ambulance rotation, anything like that.
Yeah.
And then Saturdays and Sundays are for extra rotations and studying. So
Okay.
that was from February all the way to early September, right?
That's
And
a long time.
I had no life for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was great. I had so much fun. I made good friends. I had such a good experience. I learned so much.
Yeah. Even as an accelerated course, and I think the ones that most people I know do is like 9 months, around
Yeah,
9 months.
that's how pretty much how mine was. It was it was 6 months of strict rotations and testing and all
Yeah.
that stuff, but start to finish it was February to September. So whatever the math is on that, was that 7, 8,
Yeah.
something like that?
Because I know that the course that my department puts on is 9 months,
Okay.
I believe. I think it's standard paramedic class is a year and a half, is it not?
Yeah. So the company that put on my program, they have a 14-month version, or I'm sorry, a 12-month version, and then a 16-month version. And obviously, I took the quote unquote 6-month one.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah,
What a long time to
it
do.
was quick, man. I was in a content hiatus for a minute.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of school, I posted like a handful of times.
Well, I know everybody's happy that you're back.
Dude, I'm happy I'm back.
Yeah.
But if you're also happy, thanks, guys.
I mean, we're happy. I think everybody else is happy too.
Yeah.
I mean, solid content, good vibes.
Yeah.
You know?
And the last time I was out here was right before I went to school. I think I was here January 2025. We might have talked about how, I'm going to medic school.
Yeah.
That's probably was part
That
of the
was-
topic of discussion.
We'll play little clips over us
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
sure,
Over this.
Yeah. I was nervous about it going into it, you know?
Oh, I
was
bet,
like,
dude.
I was like, this is going to move so fast. I knew what the curriculum, kind of was, but I didn't really know, what it was all really going to entail.
It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
I mean, I as a single guy, you kind of pause life for a bit, but I couldn't imagine doing that with kids,
Almost.
another full-time job.
Well, I had the luxury of being able to pretty much not work while I was in class. I work per diem everywhere that I do work, so I was just able to on pseudo academic leave, and it was yeah, sure,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I know I'm coming back eventually.
Well, I mean, if you're working per diem at these companies as an EMT and you're coming back as a more valuable asset,
Exactly.
hey,
So
yeah.
sure, yeah, go do your thing. So now I've passed the New York State exam. I've passed the National Registry. I now have to take the Nassau County REMSCO exam, which is like a local protocol-based test, and then I have to pass the New York City REMAC exam to work in each place. I could take the Suffolk County test as well. I don't have any plans on working out there right now, but while I'm in the process of testing, I might just throw that in there as well.
Okay.
And then I will begin the upgrade process. So
Yeah.
the Nassau County test is going to be my first order of business when I get home from this trip, and then I'm going to start upgrading at my current ambulance job.
Right on. Working in New York is going to be
Yeah.
quite the experience.
I've worked in the city before, but never as a medic, obviously. So yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a good experience at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of working in New York City, specifically inside the 5 boroughs as a new medic, because the city breaks it up where every truck should be either double BLS or double ALS. So as a medic, I'll pretty much always have a more experienced medic partner to work with every day. The 911 system there.
It's pretty solid.
That'll be valuable as a new medic.
They don't do ALS, BLS there together?
Not really, not New York City.
What,
So
just BLS or just ALS?
yeah, so every 911 responding ambulance has to conform to the fire department's rules, and that is their rule. That it's either a BLS unit or an ALS unit. So you either get 2 EMTs or 2 paramedics.
So what happens if you get an ALS medic as a BLS unit? Like if your BLS patient suddenly becomes ALS?
They call for ALS intercepts, and an ALS ambulance will literally just find you and load onto your truck and then do it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably should have figured that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I did a lot of my rotations out of Lenox Hill on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and a lot of our calls during the day were these ALS intercept calls.
Yeah.
Where we would go meet a BLS unit. We would just grab our monitor and ALS bag and get onto their truck. And honestly, those calls were the best because like we get to all the BLS stuff is pretty much already done, right? We just get to load onto their truck, do all the fun ALS stuff, right? Transport in their truck, drop off the patient, and then it's like, all right, well, that's your stretcher to clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just grab our equipment and go back in service, which is that's what they want the ALS units to do, to get you back out there.
Yeah, turn and burn.
Yeah. So we call those gift wrapped calls, and I really liked my gift wrapped calls.
Interesting. Yeah, I bet. It's interesting. Going to get your certifications to work in New York. Recently, I've been seeing you doing some what looks like contracts.
Oh, yeah.
We did cruise ship, which is awesome. A couple concerts, music festivals.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Recently, that's pretty much most of it. I just did EDC, which is a music festival that happens on a cruise ship. This year we went from Miami to Belize and back, 5 days at sea, which is cool. It's hard work, a ton of walking. I literally bought specific boots, like different boots for that show. Because last year my feet were ruined, and I was like, I have to be smarter.
That's smart.
This year, yeah. But so much fun. Good work, but hard work, And before that, I did Valley of the Seven Stars, which is a music festival in Virginia. Shout out Grizz. He is a DJ that just came out of his own hiatus and through his own music festival in Arlington, Virginia. And I went down there to volunteer on the harm reduction team. And the same company that I contract for, Paradox, was there consulting. And then they were like, actually, just kidding, we could use the extra hands. So if you would like to, after you're done volunteering on the harm reduction team, work on the medical team, we've got an extra shirt for you. And I was like, sold. So,
dude, what an opportunity.
I love the contract work. It's such a nice change of pace from the ambulance.
Yeah, I bet.
Like
getting out there and seeing other things besides the back of a box.
Yeah.
Like
the whole music festival thing. It's like a different sport. And it's so much fun to get involved in the community that way.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it.
So like the lifestyle of contracting. We talk a lot about it on the podcast specifically because we own and operate the job board, the Beyond the Meat Wagon job board, and it helps a lot of people. A lot of people love contracting. A lot of people don't know what contracting is. Can you allude a little bit to the lifestyle of what that entails, like how you live your life with the pay rates, stuff like that?
I mean, the nature of contracting is so great because of how flexible it is and how unique it is, right? So like amidst working all my regular ambulance shifts, I check your board and some other places, and it's like, wow, that's a cool job that I want to do. And I'm able to sign up and do it as long as I just have the time,
And the certs, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a lot easier now. I have a much broader horizon now that I'm a medic, and I'm going to be able to do medic contracts, which is really cool. Technically, this cruise ship job was the first time I was employed as a
ALS.
paramedic. So
that's great.
I used my national cert for that one, which is cool. So,
do you think that you would gain like not only like I mean obviously you're gaining experience, right? Do you think you gain like a broader view of the world as it is in the medical field from contracting?
100%. It stresses you in a much different way as a healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Right? Where specifically with the music festival stuff or the cruise ship or whatever, the operational like problem solving aspect is very different than if you're just working on an ambulance, right? And that translates well to the ambulance work. The best way to approach a patient, move a patient, sell yourself as a provider to a patient, I find myself doing a lot more on the contract side of things, and it translates really well to when I'm, back in the ambulance, uniform, nice, you called for me, type stuff. Works out really well. I like it a lot.
I like that. It's funny because working in my first due, right? I know the streets. I know a lot of the patients, frequent flyers. I know the corners where most of my people hang out, right? That's a very much of a comfort zone. And if I was to pick myself up, take myself over to, I don't know, New York, Texas, California, I'm instantly out of my comfort zone, right? So there's new people, there's new places, there's new protocols. Tell me how you kind of like deal with that.
So for most companies that I work for, we've got like standard medical direction that pretty much applies everywhere we go. But you do still have to keep in mind like who you're operating with and where, and it definitely makes you much more of a team player, and the collaborative effort of like, okay, I'm in a different place with different places, not working with my same partner every day, that's a pretty unique aspect to it that you have to adapt to, where it's like, I've never worked with this person before, but we're here today with jobs now, so, you gotta make the best of it.
Yeah.
And, that can be a little more difficult for people, when they're not in their own groove with, the way they like to do things. But, collaborating and compromising with your partner on the best way to provide patient care makes you both better at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Discrepancies between partners usually breed better patient care because things get mulled over more than they would if it's like, okay, yeah, we agree, cool, do it.
Yeah.
If you guys are kind of questioning each other a little bit, then it usually ends up being like, okay, yeah, let's do it let's do it your way because that actually makes sense to me now.
What an awesome resume booster that has to be, though.
So sick.
And in my personal opinion, it has like you can sit down in a job interview as a paramedic and say, not only am I able to adapt to different situations and different like calls and whatnot in different places with different supplies, but I'm also able to work with anybody. I'm able to take care of anybody because I have. And like that's just like the ultimate sell point as an employee to me, right?
It's up there. Yeah.
It's got to be.
Since I started doing contracting, my resume has started to look way more attractive for that reason.
Oh, I
It
can't
makes
imagine.
you so much more varied and a well-rounded healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Obviously, working in the same place, for a long period of time makes you good as well. But going to different places, working with different people, seeing, all the different things that this job can offer, it really changes your perspective and makes your resume a lot prettier.
You know what, man? I think that working in the same place for a decent amount of time obviously makes you better. You get to learn, you get to practice more often, you get to make mistakes, right? Not like sometimes big ones, sometimes small ones, and we all learn from that. But with my department, I'm in a current spot, right? I get to know the area, I get to know the people, I get to work with my crew day in and day out. We get comfortable and we get better together. What's really cool about roving on the department is that you get to see the whole city. You get to experience different areas of the city. You get to experience how different medics and EMTs work, and you get to experience different trucks and first dues, right? I allude that a lot to contracting because that's essentially what you're doing. And I think that everybody should at least get some of that experience under their belt. And all of our new guys and girls do, because as you come off of probation, you go out onto the roving field and you see the city, right? You get to see all the different trucks and places and people, smells and scenes, and you're just like, whoa, this is a lot.
Right.
But you're learning. And that's why you call in to, staffing every morning. You go, hey, where am I going, Cap? And they go, station 00 today. And you're like, oh, awesome. I get to go work with these set of people, and I know generally the area. Right. And you start to learn. That experience is just invaluable, right? That's something that's super cool. That's why we try to, push the job board as hard as we do. And there's a lot of, like we talk about, simpler contracts on there, doing IFT, interfacility, for those people that don't know that. One of our big ones is Indiana. And we had to explain to people for a long time, yes, I know how it sounds. You're making $11,000 a month in Indiana. People go, that's not possible. And we go, okay, well then don't apply to the job and see for yourself. Right. Tough cookies, sorry. And then we have really cool ones that, you've been on. Paramedic on a cruise ship, drinking Mai Tais, giving people Band-Aids, heaven forbid doing CPR to Jimmy Buffett songs, right? But it's like, that's such a good experience, and it's good pay, right? The pay is decent.
Yeah, I like it. Works for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're on the hook for your own travel and board and stuff, but not always. That cruise ship specifically, that company took care of me. Paradox is great like that for certain jobs. I've accommodated myself to other jobs before, right? But I don't mind doing that because the job is so cool,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so great.
So, You're going home. You're going to get your certifications. You're going to try and work in some big cities in New York.
It's only one.
The only, sorry. That's out of my comfort zone, my area. What's next? Like, what's on the
I'm really
agenda?
going to be focusing on YouTube in the future.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm never going to stop creating the short form stuff for, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. But full-size YouTube videos is really what I want to start focusing on.
Okay.
So everything from the vlogs that I'm already making, just making them bigger and better on YouTube. The comedy shorts that we're doing, some of the stuff that we've been in together, I would love to make that stuff, as good as it can be on YouTube as a full video, as opposed to a short. So,
Yeah.
That's definitely what I'm going to be focusing on in the future. And really just getting as much experience as a medic as I possibly can.
Absolutely.
Like the term, like being a new medic, like being a baby medic is a thing that everybody has to go through, and you're a baby medic until you're not. You know what I mean? So I want to try to get as much experience with that as I possibly can. And that's why I think on a double medic truck in the city is probably the best place to do that, at least around me.
Yeah.
I always think that, like, working in New York City, everyone always looks at it like, oh, like, that's like such a hard place to work. That's, it's got all these factors that contribute to why those medics are so great or whatever. And I think that's true in one sense, where I think like working in a city like New York is on one end of the difficulty spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. But the other end is like the really rural out there EMS that you can do around the country, right? So in New York, the call volume is super high. There's a lot of violence, just congestion of people just contributes to the nature of that job. But if you go out somewhere really rural and it's like, okay, now your transport time with this acute patient is like 90 minutes. It's like 2 hours. It's an hour. You know what I mean? That's very difficult in its own way. The call volume is low, but when you do go out to somebody, that's like, wow, that's almost a totally different way that you'd run that call as opposed to in the city where it's like, okay, this is our 10th call today and we're 3 minutes away from the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. But, it's a much shorter transport, so.
We were talking a little bit about this before we jumped on the podcast, but like you said that the majority, I believe, of New York's first response is volunteer.
Yeah. So, in certain areas.
Yeah.
So where I'm from, in Nassau County and out in Suffolk County, so like Long Island, you refer to it as, very volunteer heavy for fire and EMS. Mm-hmm. Nassau County specifically has the Nassau County Police Ambulances, the Emergency Ambulance Bureau, right, which is the Nassau County Police Department staffs civilians on ambulances for the police department, and they, are all over the county and they pick up calls like that. But there's still a ton of volunteer agencies, fire departments and ambulance companies that pick up most of the 911 calls that the county obviously can't. There's only so many ambulances. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if there's any like full-time paid firefighters in Nassau or Suffolk County. It's almost all volunteer. There might be, but 99% of it is volunteers. So if you call crazy. 911 in Nassau or Suffolk, like somebody's coming from their house to then the firehouse or the ambulance company to then, go to you, right? They're not full-time there on staff, like dedicated to the job in that way, Still a lot of great providers, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, even being a volunteer, I would hope you would want to be able to be proficient in your skills, right?
Yeah, but it is very volunteer heavy.
Yeah.
And I know that you see that in a lot of parts around the country as well. Like Phoenix, it seems like all the fire departments, it's all paid full-time people, right?
Yes.
There's no way to volunteer firefight in Phoenix?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I know New York City is pretty much the same way. There's a couple volunteer EMS agencies, but if you're going to be a firefighter in New York, you have to be a paid full-time member of the FDNY.
My city and all surrounding cities are all paid departments.
Okay.
And I'm so I'm so grateful for the fact that they are paid departments because we give, like I said, we've said it on a few podcasts before. We give volunteers a lot of grief, just because of appearance sometimes and some certain skill sets. Right. It's all fun and games. It's all love. Mm-hmm. But to have the grit and the want to wake up in the middle of the night and help people at 3 o'clock in the morning if somebody's house is burning down or they're having a heart attack, and do that for free.
Free. You got work in the morning, bro.
That's such a tremendous undertaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing it for free out of the kindness of your heart because you're like, hey, my community needs help.
Yeah. Craziest part about it, a lot of the volley agencies near me, there's like a call minimum you have to hit to maintain being an active member, and it's usually like 20 to 25% of the calls for the year, right? So pretty much the main reason that I've never been a volunteer firefighter around me is because I don't have the time at this point in my life to hit 25% of the calls for any given firehouse for a year.
Yeah.
Every 4 calls, you got to go on one of them, right? No matter when it comes in or what, it's a lot of time. It's not like, oh yeah, I went on 1 call last month and like whatever, I show up to the monthly meeting and I'm like in it like that. You got to like really participate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
if you got a vacation coming up, it's like, okay, well, I should probably hit 50% of the calls this week so that when I'm not here next week, it's definitely a huge undertaking, and you get so much like community out of it, and you learn a lot. So I understand why people do it, but donating that much time for free is a very commendable feat. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. So I was gonna get more. I was gonna get a little bit more into the social media side of stuff, just because it's interesting to watch you work in person and on screen when I'm watching you, scrolling through videos mindlessly on TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning, laying in my bed, waiting for another call, you know what I mean? But as you've been out here, we've been doing a lot of content, and the last, 5-6 times you've been out here, we've done a lot of content.
This is probably the 5th or 6th trip I've made out here to you guys.
Yeah. What do you think your favorite part about that is? What do you think your favorite part about like traveling and doing content is?
I love coming out here specifically because it feels like I have a team. You know what I mean? It feels like, because I told you before, I'm a one-man show. Aside from a cameraman at any given point in time, like the writing, editing, acting is all me. So when I come out here and I get to work with people like you, and I get to bounce ideas off you, and you can critique me, I can critique you, and it's a bunch of like-minded people all working towards the same goal of content at the same time, same place, is so much fun, man.
Yeah.
It's like pouring gas on the fire that is,
the content creation.
Social media drive,
Yeah.
So definitely the collaboration is my favorite part of it.
Yeah, doing that as a one-man show would be hard. Obviously I have Mason, we have Brandon and Matt De La Garza to help us film videos and whatnot, because I need somebody to hold the camera. And I through all of this, doing this for the last what feels like 6 years, I think it might be a little less, a little more. I enjoy being in front of the camera just as much as I enjoy being behind it, because being behind it is so much easier for me because I have these ideas in my head, just like you do. And I'm like, I know how this video is supposed to look. Yeah. I know what we're supposed to say and the facial expressions and the body movement and all the things that are supposed to happen timed to a T. It's written in my head right here. I've written it down for you guys to read, but I can't do that while I'm in front of the camera. I can. It's just really hard.
It is hard to do both.
It is so hard, dude. So it's like, not saying that I don't love having everybody else. It's like it seems like it's almost easier to get ideas and content out as a one-man show sometimes, but you still have to find a videographer.
There's pros and cons to it,
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, we definitely work together well because I'm very like lines and memorization driven.
Yes.
Right? When I write my content, I stress about over where the comma is and changing putting it in, taking it out, stuff like that. And you're much more improv heavy. And
I was.
Right.
Until we started working together, and it took me a couple years, but now I see the light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still love improv. I still love like, hey, let's shoot from the hip and see if it's funny or not, and if this takes, it works.
That's stuff that I wish I was better at, that you've got some real talent for.
I mean, with that, with what comes with that is a lot of flops, which I've found over the years. And it's funny because I'll be like super excited about a video, and then I'll show it to, Mason and Brandon, and they'll be like, I'm like, no.
Yeah, but that's the nature of content creation.
Absolutely.
If you're not making flops, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Like, there's nobody out there that drops banger after banger, and
you don't think Mr. Beast drops banger after banger?
I mean,
he's got $1 million team. You know what I mean?
There's flops that are proportional to Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
If he drops a video and it only gets like 10 million views in a day, it's like,
Oh,
what do we spend all that time for?
What do we do?
You know.
We had that conversation with Fenton while he was here a couple months ago. It's been a minute since we've done another podcast. A lot of busy stuff going on. But he was saying it was such a funny story, and I won't butcher it, but they spent a decent amount of money on a choir and like pyrotechnics, and this is all fire department coffee stuff. That's why. Stuff like that. And he was like, dude, the video just flopped. And I was like, that's my chest, dude. I can feel that. I feel that for you. Because you put so much time and effort and like creativity into something just to have people be like, your fart poop jokes are funnier. I'm like, okay.
It can definitely hurt.
Yeah.
Especially like a lot of times I'll post a video and I'm like, I'm not really even sure how this is going to do. Just here you go. But when you do get really excited, like, yo, this has so many good lines in it. This is some of my best work. It's
great.
Fantastic. And then I post it and I'm refreshing it. It's like, no.
Like, this should be skyrocketing right now.
But the opposite also happens where it's like, yeah, here's a video, pretty routine. It's okay, post it. You wake up the next morning. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. What happened here?
Yeah.
I feel like we are definitely at the mercy of some of these algorithms sometimes,
We've had that a few times.
Yeah, like it's going to show your content to who it feels like showing it to. So
yeah.
Sometimes that works in your favor and sometimes it doesn't.
I really, really enjoyed making the Ambo drivers, and obviously that's stopped for a while now. I think since you left, we made a few more episodes. The production effort of making a show, and it's not even a show, it's a series, right?
Yeah.
It was so time consuming and like trying to get everybody's schedules to line up and all that other stuff.
Impossible. Yeah.
And we still get messages like, hey, when are you gonna start filming Ambo drivers again? Like, and that hurts because like people would message us, or like you'd see the comments, they'd be like, dude, I relate so heavily to this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had $1 million, I would 100% make a show about the funny quips between fire and EMS and the things that we see and do. And it's just like, I don't have $1 million though. So subscribe to the job board and maybe we could keep filming.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And that's why like, even like real productions of TV shows out in Hollywood or whatever, even those, they have like, the staff is enormous. You know what I mean? From all the production to the actors to the catering staff.
Yeah, where's catering?
Yeah, it's such a gigantic production, and they still run into gigantic roadblocks and timing issues and budget issues and all that stuff. So, I don't know, there's no easy way to just like, streamline it all.
Like, dude, like we've said the multiple times you've been out here, at some point in our futures, you and I have to live in the same state where we can make a Joff and Jack series. Sorry, Jack and Joff series. Just something along the lines of just Jack Joff. You're like, what did you say? What is this called? No, this will never work. Yeah, dude, just something that.
Yeah, the next time that we do a night shift episode, I would love to get that as a full YouTube video, where instead of it being a 2-minute short, let's make it a 10-minute full video and like really see what we got in it. You know what I mean?
We should include some like calls and stuff.
Yeah, like stuff that's not at the base, right? Stuff like being out in the street, in the truck, somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so if you are an editor and would like to edit a night shift video, please hit one of us up. Hit both of us up. Hit everybody up.
Yeah.
Because we will need that in the near future. Like I won't... The next time that I come out here, I'm going to make sure I've got a night shift video written that is as big and beautiful as it should be, But
we will definitely have something.
It also doesn't have to be night shift. It can be literally anything.
Yeah. I mean, we make so much content when you come out here. It's just like, I feel so drained after you leave because I'm like, okay, so time to come up with more ideas.
Yeah, even the days at the studio, towards the end of the day, it's like, wow, like the mental stress of like, all right, just keeping it going. I'm in your stuff, you're in mine. Just the motivation during the day. It sounds dumb to say that that's like real work that wears us out. But yeah, there's a serious mental stress to it, to just always be thinking, how do we shoot this different? How does this, what's wrong with this video? Why isn't it working? How do we fix this angle?
Yeah. It's funny because like what we do
I was gonna say
is so stressful and strenuous as a job, and my wife works at a desk, and I used to be like, that's not hard. You don't deal with dying patients, blah, blah, blah. Dude, the mental capacity that it takes to sit at a desk for 9 hours a day, 8, maybe more. Mm-hmm. It's...
Yeah, I've got some friends that are accountants.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
How do you do it?
I don't have the gear ratio in my brain to do that.
No way.
But yeah, like the whole filming thing wearing us out compared to what we do for a real job, it's like, how does that, but it does.
It's draining. Does. It's mentally stressful, I guess. It's just like, what's the word for it? Just an overload of like information and like trying to get things out and then portraying that on camera.
What's the best feeling though? The best feeling when we go to start filming something, I'm like, we'll film a clip, I'll watch it back, film the next one, watch it back, and as we're going, it's like, oh my God, it's working.
This is coming together.
I feel it coming together. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I can already start to see the final product as we're going, and it's like, yo, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Yeah.
We made a couple bangers while you were out here, so stay tuned.
Yeah, there's some stuff that I'm definitely proud of. It'll probably flop.
I sure hope not. That's a really good video.
Probably jinxing it, right? But it's almost like, you ever heard of the term like a runner's high?
Mm-hmm.
When you're running and you get like all that endorphin release, but it's almost like the same thing. Like content creator.
Absolutely. Dude,
it's like, oh my God, it's happening.
It's so weird because like you hear psychologists and psychiatric people talk about like the dopamine release that you get when somebody likes a post that you posted, and it's like when we start actually posting things and people are like, this is funny, and I'm just like, nice. People think I'm funny or like, we worked good together. And then something that you put like we just said, like you put your heart and soul into it, and you're just like, I need my dopamine, please. Like, please screen that I hold 2 inches away from my face.
Like, I started doing content creation in 2021, like middle to end of 2021.
Yeah.
And I got addicted to the likes and comments before anything else, Mm-hmm. Now obviously there's a little bit of money in it, but before, like, I was doing it purely because I loved what was happening.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I have comments to read and answer, and did somebody just DM me? Oh my God, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm an attention whore at the end of the day, so it's like, this is great. So,
you know what's cool? My favorite thing about it is that I have a few favorite things about it, but I think overall, I know how toxic and disgusting the internet can be as a whole, right? Like just tuning into your phone every single day to see the horrors that are going on in the world. It's like, cool. I get to keep seeing this over and over again because I'm like allowing myself to. My wife has cut out Instagram from her life, right?
That's
and
so awesome.
She thinks, she says that her mental health is better because of it, and I think that's awesome. I mean, unfortunately, I can't do that because we have many social media accounts to run and people to keep, entertained. But the community, when it comes together.
Yeah, when it's good, it's great.
When it's good, it's great, dude.
Yeah, man.
And you're just like, the comments are like, yo, your video helped me in this way, or like, hey, this made me get out of bed today because like I thought it was funny and it put a pip in my step. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then like the positive reinforcement that comes with like just like good content creation that like makes people like laugh or like gives them a little bit of joy in their life.
It's a special thing, man.
It's great.
I never thought that anything that I would create would actually impact somebody like that.
No.
But I've had like legit emotional conversations over like DM or something with people where it's like, like this content inspired me to do X, Y, and Z, and like, thank you. And it's like, holy shit. Yeah. I was just trying to make a joke.
Yeah, dude.
I was just trying to be funny.
One of the best parts about that, and it's the people that have followed the page since day one, and even not the people that the ones that came along in the last few years, and they're like, dude, like we love your page. And I say this to a lot of people. It's funny because we make memes, the daily, this sometimes twice daily meme. We are the daily comic strip in the newspaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like people open their paper to see what's going on in the world.
Expect it.
and then they flip over to the funnies
Yeah.
to say, oh, look what Garfield's doing again. That crazy cat, Marmaduke, holy crap, that's so funny. And it's like, it's just continued through a different platform or a different,
That's an aspect
supercomputer.
that I don't understand because I definitely don't post daily. You know?
It's, I could not, that's the part that I could not do, we could not do without a team.
Yeah.
It's impossible. There's no way.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people do it without a team.
I mean, there's other people on like TikTok that blast out content basically every day. And there was a time in my life, like probably end of 20, like when I first started, like late 21, early 2022, where I was able to post every single day, and I did it for like a couple months, I think, and that was like, a pretty integral part of like my early page, right? But there's some people that still do it now, and it's like, yo, you ever heard of Nurse Stank? Shout out Nurse Stank.
No,
because the way
shockingly
that
enough.
guy, he's a nursing content creator, and the way that guy cranks out skits is fantastic. It's just him in his uniform or whatever, like what looks like he's at home, but he just drops these skits basically every single day.
Crazy.
And it's like, I don't understand how you have the bandwidth in your head to do that. It's very impressive.
Is he actually a nurse?
Yeah.
So he goes
I'm like,
to
yeah.
his nursing job and then somehow creates daily social media.
I'll have to show you his page because he literally posts a nursing skit every day. And they're not like easy to do skits either. There's some like real editing in there, and the lines are good, and it's like, wow, he does this so he does.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. I haven't heard about that.
There's some other people too, if I went and looked, that like really post a lot, and that is genuinely very impressive to me.
Yeah.
The consistency is more impressive than the content itself at a certain point.
Yeah.
How often they're able to do that.
Kudos to them, man.
Yeah,
That's impressive. Absolutely. Ours could not have been done without a team. It's finely tuned at this point.
That's why I love coming out here, because it feels like I have one.
Yeah. I mean, you're part of it at this point, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Appreciate you, bro. I mean,
you've been coming out here enough where it's like, hey.
We average at least like 2 pieces of content a day each when we collaborate and go to the studio, stuff like that. Over a couple days, like that's great,
Yeah.
Like on my own, I probably average anywhere from like 5 to 10 posts a month.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like 1 or 2 a week is what it ends up being.
But hey, if you're driving traffic with that, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for me right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I am really excited to start, not totally pivoting, but adding the long form YouTube stuff into it. It's definitely going to be another pretty big learning curve that I'm going to run into, with that kind of stuff. And I also am going to need an editor, so if you'd like to edit, please hit somebody up. But yeah, I am excited for the long form journey and what that will start to look like. But I'm never going to stop doing the short form. Short form stuff's so much fun.
Short form's great, dude.
And like, what's crazy is we often forget what life was like with social media before TikTok specifically, because that was that first app where it was like that algorithm where it's like, oh, you could create a brand new account with 0 followers, post something, and get millions of views.
Yes.
That basically didn't exist on Instagram or any of these other platforms beforehand. And that's pretty much the only reason I like really took the time to get into it, because it's like, if you had to build a following before you could get substantial viewership, like that kept a lot of people out. You know what I mean? But being able to get viewership right out of the gate was like, that's why I got addicted to it. I was like, wow, I posted a couple videos, some of them blew up, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. It's so easy to grow. And now obviously every app has followed suit,
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely owe it to the nature of TikTok's algorithm that inspired me to continue to create content.
Hasn't it been like every 10 years or so a new app has come out?
Pretty much. I guess before TikTok, it was Vine, right?
Vine was a weird time to be alive.
People forget that Vine was 7 seconds long. You had to tell your whole
was
story
7.
and make your entire video and drive your point home in 7 seconds.
Yep.
And the creators that were really successful at doing that,
Now they're like full-time actors.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah, there's been a lot. Obviously most people fall off at some point. But
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty much Jake and Logan Paul are probably the most successful Viners from that era.
Yeah.
They're doing the old WWE thing. They've boxed everybody at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, turning Vine success into what they have is so wild.
Anyway, yeah, the success that comes from stuff like this. Like, what's that girl's name that got famous for doing dances on TikTok?
D'Amelio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't she like a millionaire now?
I'm sure. And I think she had a Hulu show at some point, like a reality TV show on
That's
life
crazy.
and stuff like that.
Crazy.
But, I mean, this is just where people's attention is now. And, everybody kind of realizes that,
That's where people get their news.
Yeah.
Younger people.
Yeah. Like, there's quote unquote influencers at like the Met Gala and stuff now.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is where people spend their attention, and attention is money. So whoever's getting the attention is going to then get the opportunities. I saw a bunch of discourse recently about how people were really upset about certain running influencers, like running, like marathons and stuff like that. It's like, these people are only getting bibs to run certain races and like getting all these sponsorships like because they have the following, like they're not real runners. And it's like, well, it's because they put themselves out there to.
What's a real runner?
Right. So that's also what people argue about. That's the opposite side of the argument, where it's like, these people put themselves out there and built a following, and with that comes opportunities, so it's kind of just what that is. How are you mad at it?
Do you have two legs? Are you able to move them back and forth for the course of 26 miles? Sorry,
26.2.
26.2 miles. Hey, congratulations, you're a runner.
Yeah.
Regardless of following.
I don't like cardio that much, man.
Oh, dude,
do it.
It's the best.
Like, I loved when I was able to skateboard consistently because of how good of cardio it was. Like the sweat from like a hard skate sesh was fantastic.
Yeah, cardio is cardio for a reason.
Yeah.
And everybody should do it. It's great for your heart.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure now, skating, the risk for injury is so high that even just like a sprained wrist, a sprained ankle, landing primo one time, all of a sudden you can't work for however long.
I don't know if I told this story on this podcast before, but it is why one of my best friends stopped skateboarding.
Yeah.
Huge medical thing, and luckily I was an EMT. I think I had been on the department for like 4 years at that point, so this wasn't super long ago. We're at a skate park.
The Wedge right over here?
No, it's Union Hills Skate Park, and he's in one of the bowls. And the bowl has a spine in the middle of it, and he's on the other side of the spine. So when for people that don't know what that means, when he drops in and he's in that area, I won't be able to see him. So he comes up on his skate. Keep in mind, he's wearing a helmet, thank goodness, because he would 100% be dead or a vegetable. Comes up out of the bowl to hit that lip and do a grind, but I guess just miscalculated where that was. All I hear is, fuck! And I look over, because I'm on the other side of the bowl, and I see his legs shoot up into the air, and his board just skyrockets, like takes off.
Wow.
And now he is upside down, mid-air. That bowl is about 6 feet deep, and he's now 2 feet above the bowl. So he falls straight down onto his back, hits his head, cracks that helmet in half. Dude. And I'm like, oh no, I just watched Mark die. And run over there. I jump in the bowl. He's postured.
Whoa.
Yeah, heavy posture.
Really? So you definitely got knocked out. Right?
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
Full concussion.
Right.
And I run over there, and I'm like, I kind of like, I'm like, crap, dude. Like, do I call the fire department? Do I wait it out? And so I kind of like, I'm kind of trying to hold him still because he's like coming out of it. And I'm like, hey bro, you're like, can you talk to me? And he goes, oh my God, dude, like kind of catches his breath, sits up a little bit. I'm like, hey dude, take it easy. Like sit there for a second. Don't move. I'm like, he goes, bro, what happened? And I'm like, I watched your feet go up and like you fell backwards and hit your head. Like you
took a shot here.
We should, give it a second. He goes, oh, okay. Thanks, man. Hold on. What happened?
Oh my God.
And now he's perseverating, right?
Yeah.
Is that the word? Yes.
I mean, when you get that like retrograde amnesia from a head injury, that's like.
I should stop trying to use medic terms.
Oof, I mean.
Anyway, he like, I explained to him again what happens. The same thing happens again. He goes, what happened? And I'm like, oh no, dude, like we got to go to the hospital.
That's real bad news.
And so basically he repeats himself a few times while we're sitting in the bowl. Some dork tries to come up and be like, hey man, just like get him up and get him out of the bowl. He'll be okay. And I literally turn around, I'm like, shut the fuck up. And the guy did not like that. I was like,
not a regular slam.
Get away from me and my friend. I know what I'm doing. You need to leave. It was that part made me mad. Anyway, we get him out of the bowl. He's still repeating himself. So I call his dad. I'm like, hey, Mr. J. Cox, he's a scary dude.
Right.
He's a scary older man. I'm like, this is what happened to Mark. I'm taking him over to the hospital. I'll meet you there. And he goes, Joff? He goes, did he piss or shit himself? I said, no. He goes, then bring him home and let him sleep on my couch. And I was like, Mr. J. Cox, you don't understand. And he just like he's like, bring him to my house. And I was like, you can fight me in the parking lot. I will see you at John C. Lincoln Deer Valley. And he's like, Joff. And I hung up and I'm like, oh my God, I swear, I hope he doesn't kill me. And then we went to the hospital. He's fine now, but full concussion.
Yeah, that's
bad.
I mean, like decorticate posturing and like memory issues from a head injury. That would freak me out. Especially as my friend. That's like, yeah, this is serious.
Oh, it was bad. I was like, do I call the department that's in this area? I was like, nah.
Yeah, thankfully I've never taken a spill that bad, but in my old age, I realized that skating consistently is not worth the risk. You know.
No, and I never wore a helmet, dude.
I've definitely not worn a helmet way more times than I have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but even with like flat ground skating, if you're just like trying to grind flip tricks or ollie over a traffic cone,
ill advised.
Yeah, taking one spill where you spill a little bit too hard and it makes it harder to work is just. I'll never stop skating. I'll never like totally go cold turkey and never skate ever again.
Yeah.
But like the idea of skating as much as I want, I can't. It's too risky. No,
dude. I think I was dropping into a little half pipe once, tiny little half pipe, and just my wheel clipped on a little death pebble. You know what I mean? And I scorpioned on the ground, sore for a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this anymore. But as the saying goes, you don't stop skating because you get old. You get old because you stop skating.
That's actually a good point. That's really the point. Skating keeps you young.
It sure does.
I think.
Or at least it should. But
true. But yeah, I don't know. I do like the Wedge over here, that skate park.
It's a great skate park.
That park.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Couple quick questions for you before we get done here. We're about to hit an hour. As a brand new sorry, I was checking out this camera. As a brand new person trying to get into contracting, you want to go see the world, you want to go see a cruise ship, you want to go to Odessa, Texas, I don't know, somewhere. What are your best tips and tricks and like things that you should have to start contracting?
So you're saying like once you already have your credential and you're already like ready to start contracting?
Yeah. So you're like, hey, I got my medic, I've been BLS for a while, or I've got a good year of paramedicine under my belt. I want to go see the world. Go.
Honestly, it's probably just to send it. I think, you're only going to get the contracting experience by contracting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think just pick one that looks all right to you and kind of get after it, because that's what I did. And, some are obviously better than others, and some experiences end up being more valuable than others. But at the end of the day, you're only going to contract by contracting. So
that's true.
Kind of just get out there, I mean, exhaust your network for sure. Speak to everybody that that has or is in the area, or do as much of your own research on each one that you can. But at the end of the day, like, you kind of just have to go out there and do it. You know what I mean?
That is kind of one of the things that a lot of people ask us about, because it's that huge catch-22 of like, well, you need experience. Well, how am I supposed to get experience if everybody requires experience?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't lie about it, but apply to everything that looks interesting to you. Hey, somebody's gonna bite. Somebody's gonna be like, you know what? We're hard on people right now. We need a few bodies, so we're gonna give you a chance.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess if you're a new contractor, start small and more local, right? Do something that's closer and for not as long as a time, right? But as you get into it, it's like, okay, yeah, now I'm ready for the 3-month contract in wherever land.
Yeah. Making 3 times what I would be on a box.
Is that firefighter in Antarctica contract real?
It is 100% real.
Really?
Yes. And I have seen videos on TikToks of guys and girls that go out there and do that. And it is insane, dude.
Are there a lot of fires in Antarctica?
No, it's basically like a precaution. So, like stuff that can start on fire out there. I mean, if and when it does, they have people. It's like kind of like a fail-safe. You know what I mean?
When I was right at the end of my medic class, and pretty much right after we all passed the final, our instructor sent us an email that Norway was hiring full-time paramedics, specifically English-speaking paramedics. Which I think they speak enough English in Norway where you can go there and speak just English on the job and you'll be okay.
I need to get better acquainted with what it takes to get overseas and do contracts out there.
I mean, all the work visas is probably what makes it difficult.
Yeah, but like how much different are the medical interventions?
It's probably largely some of the equipment definitely varies.
Yeah.
Right. But to achieve the same or a similar outcome, I imagine. They definitely have different meds in different places. I mean, even near me, there's different meds in different places. Like in Nassau County, the agency that I work for does carry cardizem.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our powderized cardizem, which for the non-medics out there is for dealing with narrow complex tachycardias, like an AFib, A-flutter, treating them when it's symptomatic and stuff like that. But in the city, we don't carry it, so we have to use amiodarone, which is for stuff outside of narrow complex tachycardias as well. You can treat like VTAC with a pulse with amiodarone. You can, do other stuff with it, right? So it's also in the body a lot longer. Like amiodarone's more toxic to your body. It's like bad for your lungs and stuff. It's in your body for like 60 days. So if you're going to treat symptomatic AFib, cardizem's the best option. But if you're having your symptomatic AFib episode in the city, you're probably going to get treated with amiodarone. And if you're in Nassau County, you might get treated with cardizem.
How long have you been a medic?
A month.
The man did his studying, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's not even like niche info. That's like if you get done with medic school and you don't know the difference between amiodarone and cardizem, that's probably like,
bro,
you should probably back it up a little bit.
I know like aspirin and do compressions and drive truck. Yeah. I drive truck.
6 months ago, that's where I was too.
Goodness gracious. That was impressive.
But it changes via location.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sure if you switch countries, does Norway carry cardizem or do they use amiodarone?
It's probably called something different.
Or do they just do something totally different? Is there a different drug over there? Who knows? Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I would love to work in a different country.
Yeah.
For the sake of, again, the experience.
Yeah. Go see something.
There's not very many places left in the U.S. that I really want to see. I do really want to get to Alaska. There's a music festival in Alaska called Sacred Acre that I really want to go to and work at, or both, or I don't know, get out there for some reason. I want to see Colorado, and I really want to see Austin, Texas, and San Diego, and that's pretty much it. Everywhere else I either don't really care, I've already been.
Yeah.
But outside the country, I have so much traveling I need to do. So much traveling.
Yeah. You got to go see some stuff.
Yeah. So if I can get to Norway for a paramedic job, that would be so sick.
Yeah. Our buddy Grayson, who is a wildland firefighter, now a smoke jumper. Everybody's just graduating up to bigger, better things, dude. I got to do something with my life. He did a couple tours in, I think tours is the wrong word, in Anchorage, Alaska. And some of the pictures that he sent me were just absolutely incredible. But he said it was some of the hardest forest firefighting that he's ever done, because the hills are just like, like 45 degrees. Anything you've got to share with the audience?
Anything I've got to share with the audience?
We already talked about everything you're going to be doing soon.
Pretty much. I mean, I am rebranded, which is very exciting.
Electric medic.
Oh yeah, it took me a little while to really hone in on my niche. If you've been following me for a little while, or you scroll down on my page, I used to make such a wider range of stuff. And every once in a while, I will throw back in the bartender character, and I'll throw back in some of these, the wrestling practice skits or something like that.
You got to mix it up.
Yeah. But I am very glad to have found my niche in content and in healthcare. I do not have what it takes to be a nurse.
Absolutely not.
I love pre-hospital medicine, and now I have all of the opportunity to pursue this career.
Dude,
you know what I mean? So
bless the nurses, because
got a feeling
I don't get it.
I think I'm gonna start inching towards the helicopter in the future.
That'd be tight.
I think I'm gonna go CC. I think I'm gonna take all the difficult airway courses, and I think I'm gonna start trying to get onto the bird, man.
Yeah.
I think that stuff is so sick.
Yeah.
You know, what's crazy that like it makes sense when you think about it, but like when it comes to like flight medicine, flight medic, flight nurse, whatever, like there's different infusion rates at different altitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Like your medication dose might change on the ground versus up at whatever altitude you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a third dimension to your care now, which is altitude, you know, which is so wild. I think it's so badass.
That's nuts. One, I don't like tiny planes. I don't like big planes either, but
Yeah,
couldn't do helicopters or tiny planes.
Are spooky, but I am too drawn towards that type of healthcare to not want to pursue that, I think. So for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be working on the ground as a paramedic and focusing on a lot of YouTube stuff. But once I'm ready to go back to school, I think the helicopter is where I'm going to start heading towards.
Heck yeah.
If I had like infinite time, I would totally take a nurse bridge program too, just to have that credential. I think nursing is cool in that regard. Like I spent so much time working in the ER that I was like, wow, I kind of get this, you know, working alongside nurses all day as a student, obviously, but seeing what their job is like for more than 10 minutes at a time when you're dropping off a patient, you know, I was like, this is really cool. I could not make a career out of this, but if I could get experience here or there, like some ER shifts and stuff like that, I think that'd be sick.
Yeah.
It's so cool that you were telling me that there's medics that work in ERs out here?
Yeah. Level 0 EMS was telling us that that's his big job right now.
That is so sick.
He's been doing it for a while.
Like his name, his badge, like says paramedic on it?
He is a paramedic in a hospital.
That is really cool. So I've heard of that before, and there are a couple jobs out there like that in New York, but very far and few between. If that's like a thing out here, that's really cool.
And those are on the board every once in a while too.
Are any of those jobs per diem?
I think some of them can be. Most of them are like actual careers. Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. One of the things that working in a hospital taught me was like, I was working on the ambulance while I was working in a hospital as a tech, just helping nurses and whatnot. Like, the best thing about this job is that we get to deal with people for 15 minutes to an hour.
It's a big part of the reason.
And then we drop them off to the hospital, and they get to deal with them until they leave the hospital.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I can't do that.
When I was doing my ICU rotations, one of the gripes that nurses had was it's like, yeah, like you'll show up to work for like your first of 3 like 12-hour shifts, right? You work 3 days in a row, right? You show up, okay, you get your patient assignment, which in the ICU it's like either like 1, maybe 2 patients, right? It's like, wow, okay, this is my patient for the next 3 days. Like, this is a difficult patient. The family is, you know, being annoying relative to what a family would be like, you know, and it's like, wow, I have 3 days of this and nothing else, and you know, nothing's gonna change is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You know, but for us, if we show up and we have a patient that's kind of like that in our own way, you know, it's like, all right, but yeah, I can do anything for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can fix this, but I can help fix this person, and
Absolutely.
And an hour from now, I'll be done. But like showing up to your first day of work and it's like, wow, this is a difficult patient relative to the ICU and ICU level patients. Like, wow, I have 3 days of this. Yeah, I could weigh the pros and cons of nursing versus being a medic all day. But for me, I can only do the medic side. I don't have what it takes to be a nurse like that, man. I can't do it.
No.
You know.
Yeah. More power to you guys.
I could do it infrequently. Like I said, if I did the bridge program and I had a per diem nursing job, I could do it every once in a while. You know, and I would like to. But like doing 40 hours a week or more as a career nurse, like you guys are rock stars, man. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. I think there would be more value. I say that with a grain of salt. More value in becoming an NP or a PA.
Yeah.
Like, because then you can kind of, from what I've heard, be your own boss in a little bit of a kind of.
I know it depends on the state. I think
Yeah.
I know nurse practitioners are able to practice on their own, right, and open up their own practice and do that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if PAs can, or maybe they can't in every state yet or something. I don't really know how it works. But obviously that's more school that you have to spend the time and money doing, right? And then it's more responsibility and all that stuff, right? Obviously the pay goes up too.
And there's lots of contracts on the job board if you ever want to get out of your hospital and go see the world. That's all I got, dude.
Yeah, man, this is a good podcast. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. It's always a pleasure having you out.
Hell yeah, brother.
You got anything for the people? This camera?
I think I've got all my news out there, man.
Yeah?
I'm back in action, rebranded as Electric Medic, and I am here to make content that you enjoy, hopefully.
Like and subscribe.
You know, like and subscribe. Smash that like
Smash that like button, dude. And as always, subscribe to the job board. Live life beyond the meat wagon, like Jack.
Oh, yeah. That job board will save your life.
Right on, dude.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you, Doc.